So in this example, I'm going to factor the trinomial 8x squared plus 6x minus 9. I'm going to factor it using the AC method. I have another video where I'm going to show how to do it just by trial and error or guess and check. So if you're not familiar with the AC method and you are rather do all your factoring by trial and error, you probably have to add other video instead. But for the AC method, remember that the whole point of this is that you think of any trinomial of this kind, ax squared plus bx plus c. So in this case, my a is 8, and my c is negative 9. So AC is 8 times negative 9, so it's 72. So for the AC method, what you do is you multiply 8 times c, and you can make a list of all possible ways you can break up the 72 into two factors, and of those factors, you want to find which of them adds the middle term of your trinomial, which in this case is positive 6. But because I have a negative 72, I should think of them as the signs have to be opposite, right? So I'm going to do a possible factoring is, of course, 72 times 1, and that doesn't work. 2 and 36, that doesn't work. For my, I'm looking for a 6, okay? 3 times 24 doesn't work. I can do 4 times, if I do 4 times 18, it doesn't work. I think I can't do 5, I can do 6. So it's 6 times 12, and this is my pair. How do I know it's my pair? Because the difference of these two numbers is 6. So I know that one is positive, one is negative, so, because I want to get a negative 72. So if I put the 12 positive but the 6 negative, right, that gives me the negative 72. So here I was looking for a difference of being 6, because my product AC is negative. Okay, hope that's clear. So what you do in the AC method is that you start writing, you start writing your factors, like the trinomial, you rewrite it, and you use the two numbers that you found to break up this middle term. So this 6x, you're going to break it now like, for example, 12x minus 6x. So I'm using the two numbers that I probably can use a different color here. Well, I'm using chalk, so it's going to be a little bit complicated. If I do a 12x here, and a negative 6 here. Those I'm using these numbers here to break up. Why those? Well, because those are the ones that make the trick. So let me continue with my example and see what happens. So then minus 9. So once you write these 4 terms, you look at the first 2 terms that you have here and see, try to graph to factor the greatest common factor from these 2 terms, and it's not that hard. It's a 4x, right? I can factor a 4x from these 2. If I factor a 4x, the other term is 2x. So 4x times 2x gives me the 8x squared, and then I have to do a 3 to get the 12x, right? Now here, I need to put a plus, and I'm going to factor from these 2 guys what they have in common. At first glance, I think I can factor a 3. But if I do that, then I have to put a negative 2x here to get the negative 6x, and I have to do negative 3. The problem with this is that this factor is not exactly the same as this factor, and we need them to be equal for this to work. So we're pretty close. All I need to do is fix that, which means I can factor that negative could be part of my factoring, and factor a negative 3 instead. Then the inside becomes positive 2x and a positive 3. So that way I have it. This factor 2x plus 3 is the same as this factor 2x plus 3. So this would work. My complete factorization would be 4x minus 3 is my first factor, and 2x plus 3 is my other factor. You can check. If you multiply 4x times 2x, you do get 8x squared. If you multiply 4x times 3, you get 12x. If you multiply negative 3 times 2x, you get negative 6x. And negative 3 times 3 gives you negative 9. When you combine these two terms, you get the 6x from our original trinomial. Right? So this is how this AC method works. I want to emphasize that this is a method. It's not the only way that it works, that you can factor. Another thing that I want to say is that this issue about these numbers having to factor a negative here was because I chose to write them in this order. If you write these two terms backwards, you wouldn't come up with that situation. So I would encourage you to write those two numbers backwards and do a factorization from there, and you see that you don't have to worry about factoring a negative. Okay, I'll do the other video with the guess and check methods.